See it? What you may not know about the sun is this. One of the oldest religions in the world. I should say we used to worship the sun. There was a YouTube video that I saw about some facts about the sun. It was saying in life, a lot of wars have actually been started on the sun. I'm a Greasy Mouth clan member from the Apsalica tribe. Apsalica, it actually means children of the large-beaked bird. It's a misnomer. We're not really crows. That came from the French whenever they used to call us number one was beaux hommes, which was beautiful men. But actually, there was another time that they called us gens de corbeille, which meant people of the crow, or it was like crow people. Corbeille meant crow in like the French. But in short, we're not really crows. Children of the large-beaked bird actually means thunderbird. Every tribe is made up of clans. With my particular tribe, you've got lots. A lot of them were changed over, like Wealthy Gophers. Wealthy Gophers were changed over to Whistling Water clan members. But in short, I'm a Greasy Mouth clan member. Greasy Mouth, we were really good hunters. We worship the sun. If you ever look at our flag, there's a couple of rays from the sun though, but we're actually represented by the sun on our flag. If you ever look at the Crow tribal flag, that means the Greasy Mouth clan members. There's 2 war bonnets on there, there's a TB on there, there's a couple of rays of sun. And anyway, aside from all that, one of the last things is that we actually know a lot about weather. But one other thing was that we were actually really, really good hunters, and we ate the best parts of the meat. The best parts of the meat, because the buffalo was actually a really, really lean animal. It was kind of a muscly animal. So in short, when you ate the best parts of the meat back then, that was the fat. It was considered a delicacy. Anyway, it would make us greasy inside the mouth. So they shortened down greasy inside the mouth to Greasy Mouth. So anyway, it's Thanksgiving. If you guys don't really know, this ain't exactly the greatest this ain't the greatest holiday for Native Americans. We're not really Americans. I think that we were here before. We were actually here before America. America was named after an Italian guy, Amerigo Vespucci. So, I don't want to throw too much haterade, or, people try to say, I had an older gentleman one time, we got into an argument, and he said, "We beat you," and I was like, actually, you didn't beat us. Don't get things screwed up. I always say this, that natives, we didn't really get beaten. What really happened is that they gave us smallpox blankets, and that killed out 90% of us. Then they started war against us. They tried to act like everything was good. They gave us peace medals. The truth is that when white folks came here, the Europeans, they were starving. They didn't wash their ass, and they brought over a ton of diseases. So, in short, I just want to be accurate. And people say, what do you know about accuracy? What do you know about history? natives never really wrote their history down, but you also need to understand something. The European way was to lie and to cut throats. Natives, there's an old term, and it's called honest Injun. An Injun referred to a native in a kind of derogatory manner. But honesty, that was our code. Warriorhood, that was our code. Being a brave, honesty, and all that stuff, that was the natives' code. In short, what I'm trying to say is this. We don't have a whole long history of lying to people and cutting their throats and sending them to slavery. So, draw your own conclusions. But we did not actually lose. If you want to know why natives have an extremely high boxing rate and MMA rate, when you look at Brazilians, I'm talking about all the way from Argentina, Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay, Mexico, you name it. All the way to Cuba, to the Arawak Indians, and all that stuff, though. So short is this, is that we're from warrior societies. When they killed us off with smallpox, and they made sure that our population was extremely low, then they jumped on us. But even after that, like at Standing Rock, the Sioux nations, and they don't like to be called Sioux, they like to be called Hunkpapa, Shakopee, Ogallala, Lakotas, Nakotas, Dakotas. That's what they like being called. They don't like being called Sioux. From what I've always been told, the word Sioux actually means snake in the grass, and it refers to the way that they used to fight. That they would sneak up on people, or they would they were renegade style, because back then, Europeans believed in fucking being in red coats and stuff like that. They had no idea of warriorhood. They had no idea how to fight a battle. They were like, well, we're going to stand in this big giant line and we're just going to trade bullets. Live for life, though, until we come to some kind of resolution and treaty. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. There's nothing to play about death, you know? But here's the other thing, is that we actually used to pray for our enemies, because you need to understand that whenever it comes to the part of taking a life, you have to understand you have to pray for your enemy. A lot of times on U.S. military bases, a lot of people are actually putting sweat lodges or inipis. It's actually a purification ceremony. So, when it comes down to it, you need to understand one of you may not be able to return home to, the family you provide. There may be some life may have to be, taken. But you need to also understand something. We're not really humans. I don't mean that in a sense of like saying, oh man, this guy's like way out in left field. I mean that by saying we're a spirit trapped in a body. And you need to understand that in human life form, what if we lived to 90 years? Is that really a long time? Considering that we're a spirit. Take, for instance, you got people that, have you ever met two-spirit people? Gay people that are extremely intelligent. Their brain is going so fast. Or what about people that are crazy? I don't mean crazy as in they have mental health issues, and I'm talking about they're paranoid schizophrenic. They have so much brain activity going on that they're truly enlightened. And the truth is this, that even through science, they say that we only use maybe 10% of the brain. They say that somebody has schizophrenia uses something like 20%. So, who's enlightened? Who's to say what's what? Who's to say that whenever somebody's not schizophrenic, that they're not, whenever they're hearing a voice, that they don't actually hear, let's say, God, or let's say their interpretation of God, or their higher power, or that they're walking with the Creator always? Who's to say that? What would happen to say if that was, normal human beings have 10%, and schizophrenics use something like 15 to 20%. What would happen, let's say, if we used 100%? Think about that for a second. All I'm saying is this. Natives, they never used to try to make money when it come to medicine. Take a look at the hospitals and see if they don't get bigger. They keep buying up more and more real estate each day. Furthermore, what about banks? What about churches? I mean, you got stuff like, you got Joel Osteen, you got all these guys, and here's the truth. They will set their fucking churches down in Texas. And here's the reason why. It's because the largest oil companies in the United States are in Texas. Nonprofits only have to give 10% to their charity to be able to keep their tax exempt status to the next year. That means it's a 90% financial cake to cut. You know you're being manipulated. Every time you watch fucking TV, anytime you watch Netflix, anytime you watch any of that stuff, you need to understand something though, that the regular Americans don't really control all that. That's either Israeli technology or American Jewish technology. I mean, I'm just calling it like I see it. Anyway, Thanksgiving to natives is like a day of mourning. I want to say a prayer and respects to those that are relatives that I have never met. May their souls and their spirit be at peace. They say death is easy and life is actually the hard part. You get spiritually, and you get in a place where you're never at peace, and you're constantly trying to extinguish your inner flame to not be angry. Here's what I've learned is that your human side, whenever I say that we're a spirit, your human side has an ability to want to fight for itself. I'm talking about spiritual stuff though, and some people just don't know how to go there. They don't either have that depth, or they don't care to, or they're so driven by money or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about whenever you need to dress a certain way, or you're keeping up with the Joneses, or you feel the need to, brag or this or that. That's truthfully your human side. It's fighting for its right to live, when the truth is that your spirit is trying to come through. And when I'm talking about your spirit, I'm talking about whenever you walk into a room and you have the ability to, when somebody can feel negative or positivity in the air. You can feel it when you're around negative people. That's what I'm talking about. There's something amazing. What's funny is that when Jewish people, really froom, or religious Jewish people, when they get ready to rise up and lay their head, wake up, or they go to bed, they sing the Shema Yisrael, which is Deuteronomy 6:4. It's like, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai. In short, they sing it because you use the right side of the brain, which controls the left part of the body, which is where the heart is. But if you also notice, those ghost dancers, those sun dancers, whenever they have those drums and they sing their prayers, the truth is they sing their prayers because it controls the left side. If you ever go into the Bible or anything like that, you need to understand that Psalms are actually songs. That's why I always used to laugh though, because whenever you grow up in the Bible Belt, when you finally figure out some ABCs of stuff, and you realize that people aren't trying to actually acquire the spirituality of the Bible and all that stuff, and you're trying to figure out they're full of shit, and they're really just using it as politics and kind of a manipulator, and you're like, man, get the fuck out of here with all that. You realize the sheer basics, that it's a song, and if you actually sang it, it's a prayer. It's just kind of common sense. But anyway, I don't want to really get too much into that. I really just wanted to say, some truth about Thanksgiving, and that it's a natural or a national holiday for us natives, a national day of mourning. It's not a holiday. We don't celebrate this, Aho Matakiasi. That's a Lakota word. Aho means thank you or amen. Matakiasin, that means to all of my relations, to all of my family members and all that stuff. So, aho matakiasi.